Hello, my name is Amy Hafer and I am an MBA student at Heidelberg University. This video is for my marketing course and I will be diving into John Berger's best-selling book, Contagious, Why Things Catch On. So get ready to unravel the secrets behind why certain things become viral sensations. Let's begin. First things first, I would like to introduce the mind behind Contagious. The author Jonah Berger is a professor at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, and he is also a world-renowned expert on social influence. In his book Contagious, Berger dives into the science behind why some ideas seem to spread like wildfires and others just fizzle out. Let's discover those principles that he says make things go viral. His first principle is social currency. So this is all about making people look good. When we share something that makes us seem smart, or in the know or exclusive, we're more likely to spread the word. So think about those insider tips or exclusive deals that make you feel like you're part of a special club. That's basically social currency in action. One exercise that he talked about was to guess the demographics of his friend Carla driving a minivan. Just with that description, you can probably already guess what she looks like, how old she is, and if she has kids. He says that 100% of the time people guess that she does have kids and that they played soccer due to the fact that it's a minivan. They also estimate that she's between 30 and 45 years old. And then when he does the same thing with a man named Todd, he says he has a mohawk. And then you're prompted to think about his age and the music taste or where he shops. But the point of that exercise is that they don't have to be any of those stereotypes. We all just seem to make similar inferences because of the word of mouth as a prime tool for making a good impression. Now, Berger suggests that in order to get people talking, companies and organizations need to make themselves look good all while promoting their products and ideas. And he gives 3 steps. 1, you need to find your inner marketability. 2, leverage the game mechanics. And 3, make people feel like insiders. We all want to feel wanted. The second section is about triggers. So Berger explains that it's important for us to prompt and think about related ideas, making them more likely to be shared. It's like a mental association game. If something is linked to everyday triggers, it stays atop of your mind and has a better chance of going viral. So one example is remember the Got Milk campaign. A lot of times these were in elementary schools or high schools. The clever use of that trigger word milk kept the idea of drinking milk front and center of our minds. So when you see a plate of cookies or a slice of cake, you naturally thought about milk. And that's essentially the power of triggers. Similarly, he also uses the example of Walt Disney World and Honey Nut Cheerios. So if you've ever been to the park, you've probably talked about it or shared your experiences on social media. Whereas if you've ever had Honey Nut Cheerios, you're probably not doing that same thing. But what makes it different? So word of mouth agrees that being interesting is essential if you want people to talk. But there's also a more in-depth scientific explanation to why this is. But we don't have time for the entire thesis. Don't be upset though, we're moving on to chapter 3, which is all about emotions. Emotion plays a crucial role in making things contagious. Whether it's joy, anger, awe, or sadness, strong emotions drive people to share. So Berger's third principle emphasizes that high arousal emotions make content more likely to be shared and remembered. Arousal is a state of activation and readiness for action. So the heart beats faster and blood pressure rises. The physiological arousal motivates a fight or flight response that helps organism catch food or even flee from predators. While we may no longer have to chase our dinner or worry about being eaten, arousal still kindles the fire. Anxious, excitement, sadness, or anger all have either positive or negative effects on our actions. Here is the positive and negative arousal square that Berger used. So in the top left, you have high arousal and positive emotions which create all excitement or humor. Basically, when you're in a good mood, you want to do good things. You want to have fun. On the negative, having high arousal but a negative attitude causes anger or anxiety. A positive emotion but low arousal leads to contentment. I imagine this as just finishing up a really good meal, but you're in a great mood and don't feel like moving or doing anything because you're content. Whereas the negative emotion combined with low arousal is sadness, and you're probably depressed. Understanding arousal helps integrate the different results and can help decide if people are likely to talk about or share things. such as a product or business. Moving on to Berger's fourth principle, public. People tend to imitate others, especially in public. If something is visible and easy to imitate, it's more likely to spread. It's like the idea of monkey see, monkey do, or fashion trends. The author uses the example that people tend to imitate those around them. So that could be dressing the same styles as your friends, voting if your spouse is voting, or start smoking if your friends are doing it. And he even goes as far to say that you're more likely to get fat if your friends are. No matter how trivial that may be, people tend to conform to what others are doing. Here's an example from my own personal life. So the iconic white Apple earbuds became popular my freshman year of college, and at first they were kind of only for rich kids, and because of that fact, they were visible and easily imitated, and everyone wanted a pair, and now you see them all the time. Lastly, the fifth one, practical value. So if something is genuinely useful, people are more likely to share it. We love helping others, and sharing useful information enhances our social standing. It's a win-win situation. One interesting example that Berger recites is this viral YouTube video. Is one that I had never seen before about how to get all the corn silks off the cob without husking it. Let's take a look.
And when you microwave it 4 minutes for each ear, it'll come out. When we peel it, it will have no silk whatsoever on it. That's what it should look like when you have made the cut. Then grab the husk, the silks, give a shake. There it comes out, no silk whatsoever, no husk, simple as that.
Now, I grew up on a farm and we would eat bushels of corn every summer, in which we were in charge of husking. So this would have been a very, very helpful video to know a long time ago. But unlike most viral videos that are skewed towards younger people, this one is not necessarily the case. So why did it go viral? He isn't even talking about anything particularly remarkable, so social currency wasn't playing much of a role here. There aren't many triggers that could have set in, and there isn't any sort of emotional context given. That leaves the last option. It is useful, helpful information. If you've never learned something from a TikTok tutorial, then you are missing out. And there you have it. The key principles behind why things catch on according to Jonah Berger's Contagious. So, social currency, triggers, emotion, public, and practical value are all elements that work together to create a recipe for contagious ideas. So, next time you come across something viral, see if you can spot these principles at play. Thanks for joining me today.